Disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. Listener discretion is advised. In 2013, my next guest bought a ticket to watch the annual Funniest Person in St. Louis competition at their local Funny Bone. A week later, he worked up the courage to get on that same stage. A year later, he won that same competition. Being from a family full of professional wrestlers, Nathan Orton has always been destined to be an entertainer, but has opted out of the physical abuse. It's all emotional. This story comes directly from his website, and I am happy to have Nathan on the podcast today. Try not to be too easily offended. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Caught on the Mic. The funniest guy in the room is not me. It's the one and only Nathan Orton. How you doing, my friend?
Good. I'm flattered that I'm the funniest guy in this room I'm alone in.
That's the point of the joke, brother. How things been on the stand-up comedy scene in New York as the world is returning to air quotes normal?
I mean, it is what it is. I did a show last night in the basement of a restaurant, and that was pretty cool. It's all hit or miss around here, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So you're originally from the Midwest, correct?
Yeah, St. Louis.
Yeah. So were you born and raised in St. Louis then?
Yes, I was.
Oh, fantastic. And you kind of started your comedy journey 2013-ish, I think I read.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your comedy origin story, if you will.
Okay.
I'm just going to hand it over to you and start talking about it, brother.
I was dating a stripper, which is totally true. She gave me chlamydia. And she really did. This is all, I'm just putting it together here. We would go to the Funny Bone together a lot, and we'd like watch the first time we went, it was the Best of the City.
Right.
It was like, the Best of St. Louis, which at the time I didn't realize was nothing. But at the time it was really cool. It was like, oh man. And it was the first time I ever went to a comedy club, and I ended up having surgery. And I got hip surgery, and I couldn't walk for like 4 months. And I told myself that when I could walk again, I would get up there. So I was like writing jokes while I was unable to walk. And then I went up there and ended up winning that competition, like right after I started. So, and the rest is history. I'm a struggling solar panel salesman in New York City.
Yeah, that contest was the Best of St. Louis, wasn't it? Or the Funniest Person in St. Louis?
Yeah, they had it at Westport Funny Bone. Mm-hmm. That's where I won it when I first started, and then they have it at Helium Comedy Club, and I won that one too. When I won those, I was like, well, it's time to move to New York City.
Right.
Because I about capped out there. My main reason to move up to New York City was just to be around the best and get better,
Yeah, it's iron sharpens iron type of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So was this something that you always saw yourself destined to be? I mean, what were your interests before this?
Before I got into comedy, I was really into masturbating. I was addicted to porn, and I would masturbate to it. And I was kind of like a shell of a human being, I took up chain smoking. I worked at a restaurant, and I would chain smoke a lot. So I think comedy was a good outlet to take that destructive behavior and channel it into something around a bunch of other delinquents. And I've since turned my life around. I don't chain smoke, and I rarely have suicidal thoughts now. So it's getting better.
Usually whenever you kind of take the short order cooks out of your life, the suicidal thoughts tend to go as well.
Exactly. Yeah, they were really pressuring me to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
And then you get the waitresses in your ears, and they're the ones that are kind of causing a masturbatory issues. So
Exactly.
Your hands are always full then, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they wouldn't fuck me, so I had to jack off. I would watch waitress porn.
Yeah.
And there would just be a lady like there was no sex. It was just a lady like serving food and being rude. And it'd be like, oh fuck yeah.
You know what's funny? I had a conversation with my buddies today, and we were talking about internet porn and how easily accessible it is now. And like when we were kids, it was like Raiders of the Lost Ark type shit. It's like,
yeah,
I gotta find the magazine. I gotta find the porn.
It would melt your face.
Right. And now it's so easily accessible. It's like, are we completely desensitized sexually anymore because everything is out there, right?
Well, I worry about kids, man. Because if you watch so much porn, it's like a whole thing. Your brain changes and you don't develop and you can't like connect emotionally or like even like get aroused with a real woman.
Right.
I think I've had that myself a little because I was watching porn like in my teens, but like now 5-year-olds are like, it's just ridiculous.
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was on your website earlier, and I forgot
I had a website.
You do? You have a website, brother? I found it.
It's so bad. A friend pressured me into getting a website, and I was like, I'm not at that point yet. But he like guilted me into it, and then now I just have a website I don't update.
Right.
When you come to New York City, like, I was naive. I thought it was like a meritocracy. And no, it's just all like I've come completely to terms and I'm at peace with. I love doing this. I enjoy getting better. I actually am cool with it. And now it's like I'm really just finding my voice and I'm doing improv, and which is like the enemy to comedy stand-up. I'm doing that now and it's made me a better. And I'm doing acting school, and it's like all this stuff you do to cultivate and become a good performer. And then you write every day, and then you get really good. And 10 years later, then you start to make a name. Like I shouldn't have a website. And these people who blow up on TikTok, who are going to tour for a year and then burn out because they don't know how to do stand up. It's watered down right now. So I'm happy to be locked away, like as a hermit in New York City, just figuring it out. You know, that was like a soapboxy, long-winded answer to a question you didn't ask.
No. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I found you through TikTok.
My twerking videos?
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. But how has the algorithms of social media impacted something like stand-up comedy and, you know, a creative outlet like writing? Because it's impacted everything else. Because I turn on the radio and I listen to music, and it's not even innovative artists anymore. It's shit that I hear in 10-second clips from TikTok.
Yeah, it's well, like and there's going to be a lot of stuff that sounds bitter in here, but I'm not. Right. I don't even plan on saying anything bitter. I'm warning. It's a disclaimer to anyone that I'm not. I don't want to be, but it'll sound like it because I'm just being truthful. Because you learn being in it. So like social media is a way to put your stuff out there, but you can only get good clips if you get quality stage time, like at good clubs. And you can only do that. You can only get in at the good clubs if you have the social media presence. So it's like a catch-22. I suck at the social media. I'm lazy with it. And I'm like, I like get shadow banned because the stuff I say is offensive. So I'm kind of just like, I've learned to be content with just, enjoying getting on stage and not worrying about any of the bullshit anymore.
Right.
I would not be the guy to go to for advice on social media.
Right.
Like I did an hour at Caroline's and I put it on TikTok and it was going well until I got like shadow banned, and you can tell it's obvious, but it went against community guidelines. So then, and my buddies who are good at social media were like, "Oh, you're fucked now, dude." And sure enough, like it stopped getting views. So I just stopped posting. So my advice for social media is give up on it. And then just get better at the real fucking thing.
Right. What do you think causes that though? Like, what do you think causes the shadow banning? And
I think the people who made TikTok and social media, they don't want you to offend children, but they want to see those children twerking their little assholes on camera.
Right.
They're pedophiles who don't like jokes. They're very humorless pedophiles, or those who run social media.
I was on other podcast a couple of weeks ago with another stand-up comic, another Midwest-based stand-up comic, and we were talking about, you're familiar with First Ave up in Minneapolis, aren't you?
No.
Okay, so First Avenue is this big club up in Minneapolis. It was the club in Purple Rain. It was the home of Prince, right?
Oh, wow.
They booked Chappelle a couple of months back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Talk about it, though. This is great.
125 signatures got Chappelle kicked out of First Ave.
125 idiots who don't have any goals of their own, nor a sense of humor. Why they should have just taken the 125 people who signed that and like, all right, guys, we're going to take you all to your special party, and then just gas them. You know, we can learn a little from history, but instead of an entire religion or race, just make it humorless pieces of shit like that. There should be another genocide, but it needs to be people who try to cancel comedians.
That's what I was getting at, is like
genocide.
Like, is it dangerous to be funny, or are we doomed to a humorless society now?
They all say the pendulum.
Right.
So hopefully the pendulum's swinging back in the direction where it's going to knock all those people into a big fire.
Right.
But I would say Chappelle got banned from one show. But in reality, he's fine.
Right.
Anyone who, like, I could sit here and go, oh, I'm a straight white guy, I don't get booked, it's not fair. But in 10 years, that won't be the case. I'll be very famous and rich, and I'll have a lot of cult followers, and a lot of women will want to have sex with me, and I'll have to reject them. I'm actually in a committed relationship with one person, so only they get my mediocre, skinny, slightly bent penis. But I'm gonna make it because I'm very funny. Maybe not now, because it's ad-libbing with. We're strangers to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is fucking fantastic. But I've been doing shows lately, man, and I go in there and I just, whatever the crowd, black, white, Latina, I've just been like doing so well at shows, but I don't know how to like promote or market. So I'm suck at social media. So I can't complain about the whole comedy cancel thing because I'm not even out there yet to be canceled. But I think anyone who works hard enough is going to have a following. And they're going to make it.
Yeah.
Even Shane Gillis got screwed over at SNL, but now it made him blow up as a comic because he's a truly outstanding stand-up comedian, very talented. People like him, and now he's fine. So you can get canceled, but you're going to still make it because there's too many avenues of success. I haven't found one yet, but they're out there. Chappelle's going to be fine.
Yeah. Well, and the postscript to that is they ended up moving the Chappelle show that was supposed to take place at First Ave to a bigger venue and then sold out 5 nights in a row at that venue. So it's like,
that's great.
First Ave, you just basically threw your money away or wiped your ass with it. So
sure.
It's people that didn't even watch his special that was controversial in the first place.
No.
They just watched the bits and the clips.
Yeah. People take things out of context and they're lazy, and then they form a very, very strong opinion that comes from their visceral reaction, but it's formed by the words of others who they look up to because they have a same political agenda. It's all gross. It's just sheep who don't think, and they're hypocrites at the end of the day. There are offensive things that they like.
Right.
That would, if you told those 125 people abortion jokes or jokes about conservative people dying horrible deaths or something, or all that would be fair game. So they're fucking full of shit. Right. They're hypocrites. They're stupid. And I don't like to say that because I'm dumb, but like I at least know I'm dumb, so I don't try to ruin people's careers with my stupid opinions.
What I was going to get at originally about 10 minutes ago was the line on your website that said you were destined to be an...
Let's not get to it yet.
Okay, let's put off.
No, I'm sorry. I ramble. I don't know how to do these. I'm real bad at these. You can't even see my eyes. But go on, say what you were going to say.
No, this is perfect, man. This is exactly what we need to be talking about. It said you were destined to be an entertainer, but opted out of physical abuse because you come from a family of pro wrestlers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, emotional abuse or something. Joke.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, my daddy was a pro wrestler, and my brother is a pro wrestler. My grandpa, rest in peace. My uncle, rest in peace. But yeah, my brother's fucking super famous, and we text once a month, and we're cool. I'm gonna go visit home in November, and we're probably gonna play some video games, hang out. He's really cool. He just has a family. My sister has a family. I'm like the youngest. I moved up here to chase my dreams, so I don't expect to be in anyone's life. It's not a weird thing.
Right.
There's no chip on my shoulder. Like, I hear jokes about, like, I used to do roast battles until I got bored with it, and now I just judge them. But all I would hear is, his brother's famous, rape. And it's like, okay, I've heard it all. I can't be affected by it. I don't know how to talk about it on stage because I'm not a wrestling fan, and I don't feel like I have anything to say about it. Crazy.
You do have some pretty good bits. Those bits can be found on TikTok and be found on your Instagram page. See, listen,
Mr. Clark,
I'm pumping your social media for you, brother.
Oh, dude, don't look at it. It's stupid. And I had a dumb shirt on.
Go look at it just because of the shirt.
I have a joke. Like, so I wrote a joke that was, so my dad was a professional wrestler, and yes, he really hit me. That changed into, the best thing about having a dad as a pro wrestler is he didn't really hit me. Because I wanted to be truthful. He didn't beat me, so I didn't want to allude to that. Or have to go, no, he didn't really.
Right.
And ruin the pace. So it turns out another comic, I forget his name, he was nice, he reached out to me. But another comic had written that joke, didn't really hit me. And Brian Regan did it too. So and I didn't know this. And then, so people are just like, oh, you're a hack, you suck, because they don't do anything with their lives. And then I did a joke about my last name, spelling it out to a customer service lady.
Yeah.
O's and Orton, R's. I thought of all that stuff on my own, but like similar stuff has been done. That was a Family Guy joke, basically. So like, I've been like ripped on all the wrestling jokes I've done. It's the most fucking unique thing about me. And all of it has been called like hacky. That's been done before. So it's like, that was a sign to me, dude. Just do the jokes I want to do, which I like to bring up uncomfortable stuff.
Right.
I like awkward pauses. I like to just fuck around and have fun and write jokes and learn how to write jokes better and be weird. I'm not a fucking wrestler. But I'm cool with you talking about it, by the way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. It's so weird because people expect to hear about, no, they don't. No one knows who I am. But like, people who figure it out, why don't you have those jokes? It's like, what do I say? I was trapped in my room playing video games while my dad was downstairs watching TV and my brother was getting jacked in the basement lifting weights. We were in 3 different levels of the house. I don't have anything to talk about with that, but I'll figure it out. Maybe some deep journaling or a therapist.
The angle that I was going to approach that from is, because of that lineage, has it impacted the different writing avenues you've maybe considered? Because it sounds like you really enjoy the writing aspect of the comedy.
Have I ever thought about writing for the WWE, you were asking?
No, not directly, but I mean, indirectly, sure. Like maybe for WWE.
Indirectly.
Or other forms of entertainment, for sure, because Randy's been dipping his toes in the acting waters as well. And
yeah.
So, I mean, have you thought about writing for TV, for comedy, for...
I guess it would be cool to get like a writing job, because it would be more doing something that provided an income that allowed me to stay here and do this, which right now is selling solar panels. So I am saving the world through the environment. But getting a writing job would be like, that would be cool. It would have to be something I'm passionate about. And it would have to, I guess any writing does improve your comedy writing. But I've also heard that writing rooms are hell.
Right. And
so I would have to be something I was fully in love with and committed to. So the writing that I do is like for my stand-up. And honestly, like what I'm investing my time in is the performance element of it. So I'm doing improv. I'm on an improv team.
Yeah.
No one would ever assume that. I'm in I'm in an acting school, William Esper, and I'm trying to become a better performer, and I do all the writing is just to work that muscle so it doesn't atrophy.
Right.
But I don't know if I'd want 70 hours a week of writing for some show unless it paid shit fuck tons and the credit got me more stand-up gigs. It all has to feed into each other, and I haven't come across an opportunity where that seemed like a good fit for me. And like, I wouldn't want to write for the WWE because I wouldn't know what I was doing. I don't know the story. I don't follow it. I don't watch it.
Right. Yeah.
And I'd maybe have some funny ideas, but then they just get turned down by Vince. Well, I guess not anymore.
Not anymore. But yeah.
They'd get turned down by The Undertaker. I don't fucking know. Triple H.
Yeah. So you moved to New York like right on the onset of the pandemic, didn't you?
Do you like how I haven't answered any questions?
Yeah, I love it.
I have so many words with that. I don't know how to answer.
But
questions.
that's how you make an entertaining podcast, man. You just you just ramble on.
What if I wore two glasses?
You put 6 eyes on. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I moved here at the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You've done your research.
Yeah, maybe I did. And you got some pretty creative with some of the comedy gigs you were doing when the rest of the world was shut down, didn't you?
I worked really hard through the pandemic. I did shows like on sidewalks and in parks and on rooftops, and I busted my ass. And then when everything opened back up again, all the people who were already in at the clubs came back to the clubs, and all the people grinding and working really hard during the pandemic went back to open mics. That was a good lesson for me.
Yeah.
And that lesson was, who gives a fuck? Because you got 3 times better on stage.
Yeah.
And never, like, the best advice you hear in this is don't quit. Like Louis C.K., don't quit. So it's like, just stick with it and get better. And I'm grateful that the pandemic happened. All those people who died, it was worth it because I got to get used to being uncomfortable by doing shows on the sidewalk.
There it is. There's the deadpan. There's that deadpan pause. Wait for the response. Excellent. Well executed, sir. Well executed.
Are you, what is it? The beleaguered frog? What is that? I don't know the word. You just dissected the frog. You explained.
Yeah. Well, I think you kind of did it yourself. You explained what your style of comedy is, and then you executed it high level on a pandemic joke.
High level?
Yeah, I say high level. There we are, brother.
I like to be, I feel like it's rude to have the glasses on because you can't look deeply into my soul as I've been doing to you. But the blue lights, man. And you go to bed, Mike Clark?
Usually pretty damn early because I get up pretty damn early.
Do you have this beat? I don't do this every day, but on a good day, if I don't have a show, I'll try to go to bed between 9 and 10 and get up at 4:30 to go to the gym. Yes. That is my exact same routine, sir. Oh, really? Yeah, dude. Early gym's great. It gives you a reason to. If I'm going to go to the gym, I can get out of bed. I can't get out of bed and just get on my laptop and start selling solar panels. Right. I have to go to the gym. It tightens your mind up, keeps you upbeat for the remainder of the day. And your body. I do it for my body. I was doing it for my body, but the fucking pandemic ruined me a little bit. I put on 20 pounds during the pandemic. And how many pounds? 20. And I've been struggling trying to get it off, bro. Do you fast? Yes. I used to do intermittent fasting. Now I'm intermittent fasting. Okay. I see I understand what that means. Yeah. I understand what that means. Yep. Trying to confuse me. I'm going to do it. I just finished eating some avocados. I like to eat an avocado and then put this kit in my asshole. But no, I just ate a couple avocados and a protein shake. I'm not going to eat again until Saturday morning after the gym. So tomorrow, while I'm in a fasted state, I'm going to this place called the Spa 88. It's like a Turkish or Russian spa. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of these? Mm-mm. So you go to these places, man, and they're all like, "Hello, welcome to spa." And they have no fucking personality, and they probably torture people. But you just go in there, and there's an infrared sauna, and you start off in there. Well, I do this. I start off in the infrared sauna, I'll do some meditation, wind down. Then I go to the cold plunge.
Nice.
Fucking freezing, man. There's a lot of people jump in there. A lot of Jews go here. They jump into the cold plunge and get right out. And they're Jews. They have like the hair. It's like, but it's shaved and then long. It's
right.
They're nice.
Hasidic Jews.
Hasidic Jews. They do that. So that's like, it's me and a bunch of Jews and Russians and then one black guy. And I just go into the infrared sauna and I sit there for a while. And then I do the cold plunge, and people don't like to stand there, but I try to stand there for like 5-6 minutes, like Wim Hof shit.
Yeah.
And then you go into the real sauna, and it's so hot. And I do that probably 10 times, and then I leave. But it's probably the only reason I haven't killed myself. Going there once a week keeps me going, dude, because you sweat out all the bad, you feel great, you heal your body, everything's great about it. They probably don't. Where are you at?
I'm in Nebraska.
Nebraska. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
They probably don't have that there.
Actually, we do. We have a place.
Do they?
We have a place that's very similar. My wife got me a gift certificate to one of these places. They do.
Are you bragging that you have a wife?
Yes. She's great though.
I bet. You're great.
I do the cryotherapy. Then they have float tanks. Cryotherapy, float tanks, and then sauna. Yeah. So the sensory deprivation tank, I haven't done it yet. I'm excited to do it. I'm wondering if I should take a couple mushrooms before I get in and do it. But I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's good therapy, self-care. It's important.
Dude, it's so important. Instead of having kids, I'm just taking care of myself.
Word.
Why take care of other people when you haven't taken care of yourself? So I just do this spa, man. Sensory deprivation. It's obvious, but what exactly is it?
So basically it's a tank, kind of like Stranger Things, that's filled full of water and Epsom salt set to your body temperature. So when you get into it, you are just naturally floating, but it's got a hatch over the top of it. And
float tank.
Yeah, it's a float tank. And it's completely dark. So you are enclosed basically in a coffin-like box floating on water with nothing but your thoughts.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah?
They just call it floating.
Yeah.
Right? Float.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people say it freaks them out and shit. I've heard it doesn't freak you out. If anything, I've gotten bored or I have to piss.
That's my fear, dude. Because I'm going to be
having to piss.
Yes. Being lying there and just being like, well, I guess I'm just going to piss myself in this tank and not tell anybody and leave.
There's a hefty fee.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this comedy thing. So if you're working, let's say if you're in the corporate world, they say you have a 30, 60, 90 day plan to develop your career.
Yeah.
In the comedy world, if you were to say where you're going to be 6 months from now, 1 year from now, and 2 years from now, what are your goals?
It would really be 6 months, a year, and a year and a half. Since that's bothering.
If you want to break it up in 6 month increments, yes.
What do I want to do? Okay. In 2 years, I'm going to do it backwards.
Okay.
I have to think of these goals. In 2 years, I would like to have completed the acting school because it's a 2-year program. And I would like to audition for a show that would get me on like that I could get us a little like, oh, we liked you and you're that one guy from this, you're funny or you're menacing or you're gay, whatever the character is. And I want that credit to be good enough for me to get work within the city. Because New York City, man, I don't want to travel. I want to do shows here until I can headline and move around.
Right.
And I don't want to do the losing money to go fucking feature at a little club. I want to headline So I want to get to that point by working up in the city, which to do so, you have to have a gig because you can't just do stand up.
Right.
So yeah, a year from now, I'd like to be 1 year through the 2-year acting program. I would like to be getting more regular work at the clubs just from merit. Finally being like, oh, you killed on stage. Let's have you back regularly. Instead of these dumb, unfunny, hot girls and that guy who's racially ambiguous. and then in 6 months from now, I'd like to fucking be out of credit card debt. That would probably take like, I'm gonna have to find like, I'm gonna have to like come upon some money, but it just bugs me that my credit score is just brutal, man.
Dude, I'll tell you that credit card thing, that it's such a racket because it takes you 5 years to get out of credit card debt and then 6 months to get back into it.
Yeah. Right. That's true, man.
Cool, brother. Well, thank you very much for making the time for doing this. I really appreciate that. Like I said, I loved your material. I watched through it all.
Oh, cool. That's nice of you, for real.
Like, I really did spend the time and checked it all out, and I'm excited to see what's coming for you next.
I'll pop up somewhere in a few years. You'll be like, oh, shit. And other people will be like, who's this guy? Is that Randy Orton's brother? He's funny.
Oh, man. Thank you very much, Nathan. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, let's keep going. No, I'm just joking.
Once again, I'd like to thank my guest, Nathan Orton, for being on the show today. You can find him at nathanortoncomedy.com. You can also find him on TikTok and Instagram, where there are plenty of clips of his stand-up comedy routine. Check it out. And if you're feeling so generous with your social media exploration, make sure you check out Caught on the Mic on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook as well. Give me a follow, interact with my posts. Let's jar those algorithms in a favorable direction. You can also visit me at www.caughtonthemic.com. I always appreciate the 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and I'm always up for chatting with the listeners of my show, so shoot me a DM anytime you choose. This has been Caught on the Mic with Michael Clark. I'm Michael Clark. Until next time, thank you.